your wedding day. Such memories. Your smiling face, the love in her eyes, promising of a lifelong journey of understanding and support. So what the fuck happened? You out the house, she got the car, and you're recovering on your homeboy's couch, or even worse, in your parents' basement. Life after marriage is not something most men are prepared for. Many don't even talk about the issues that affected what was supposed to be one of the best things that ever happened. What now? How does your life start over? It's time to talk about it. The Lame Show starts now.
Okay, welcome to the Lame Show. Life after marriage ends. We are your hosts, Daniil, Drew, Jamal, Kier, and Goran.
Yes, sir.
Today we're here to talk about divorce and life after marriage ends. Today we're talking about
what's the difference between
a long-term relationship breakup and divorce?
So ending a long-term relationship versus divorce.
I have gone through both. I'm currently going through both. Okay. Now, I'll be transparent with everybody. I had my anniversary. This is the day I called Drew crying.
Wow.
My anniversary of the marriage I'm in now was January 19th.
That's right.
Yeah. So on that day, it was a reminder of the woman I had been involved with, in a relationship with for 10 years. I didn't marry her. I married the other woman who I had been friends with for 5, relationship for 5. So 10 years we've been together. But I know how women are. And it's she was like, yo, she deserved that. I didn't give a fuck about marriage, but she deserved that. But I knew that anniversary was going to hurt her. And we're in the process of breaking up. So I'm all crying in the morning of the day of my anniversary.
Right.
So in a polyamorous relationship, I have to cater to 2 women.
Right.
So therefore, the hurt feelings of the woman that I'm breaking up with is just as important to me as the anniversary that I have to celebrate.
Wow.
So I have to put a mask on because I'm feeling those feelings of, damn, I'm hurting this chick again that I love and I care about. Right. So we're breaking up. So it feels like a divorce because no matter what, there's no papers to sign, there's no alimony I got to pay, but I'm still hurting that person. Mm-hmm. And I'm allowing that person to feel some pain that I don't want her to feel no more.
Right.
But I'm the source of it.
Right.
So that long-term relationship breakup is the same as a divorce because you're losing a friend.
Right.
You're losing that daily interaction that you would have every day, just like a divorce.
Right.
There's no lawyers involved. There's no child support, alimony, and things like that. There's no papers to sign, but what your norm is no longer the case. So to me, it's the same.
Right.
Yeah. So I think internally or just the feeling can definitely be very similar in losing a long-term relationship that you had been invested in and put a lot into. Is very similar to that of going through a divorce. But I don't think it's the same.
Why don't you think it's the same?
Because of all of the other things that come in with marriage, loss of property.
No, I agree. I'm with you. I
know,
think a divorce is definitely more final than anything. It's like, signing paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
You say giving up something, there's a deeper scar, and I understand.
No.
When you say deeper because when you gotta sign some shit, that's like, ooh,
it's final.
It's final.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I would say a deeper scar. I don't know if I feel you that.
I'm just saying because you could always, even with the person that you're in a situation with, you could always kind of get back or do. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you couldn't get back in a divorce. Divorce to me is more.
It's more final, right?
Final.
Why? Explain that to me.
But
How's it
think
final?
about this. Think about this. We've all been in multiple relationships throughout our lives, right? We've dated women, we've broken up, we've dated all the way from back in middle school or younger. You know what I mean?
That's
dated,
different though. I'm talking
but I
like
know,
3 to
but
5 years.
Listen,
long.
it's the same.
Okay.
So you dated someone in 7th grade. Y'all dated till 11th grade.
That's
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's a different.
When you're 25 and you're dating is the same
It's
as
the
middle school.
Same thing. It's just breakups.
Emotionally,
Sometimes
it's definitely the same
it's
thing.
the same thing. So
Emotionally?
No, it's not.
think about it. You put into a relationship. Whatever you do these things. You spend a long time. You're vested in this relationship or whatever the case is, right? And that's the same from back then to now. But when you get married to someone and you go through that whole process and you know what I mean, you go through the big wedding. Rob said it was one of the most important days of his life. And I think a lot of us, when you think about that day and how it made you feel and everything else, there's a lot that goes into that, right? And then, you spend years with that woman and then, maybe you have kids, whatever the case is. But there's a lot more connectivity with that person.
And their family.
And their family. How about that? That's
You're not
even
just divorcing them. You're divorcing the family. To this day, my in-laws, they still in contact with me.
Mine
So you
too.
divorced
Mine
them.
too. Mine
Still,
too.
But you didn't divorce him.
No, I know, but I'm just saying that's not always the case.
It's not.
It's not. But
I have a phenomenal relationship with my ex's family. I mean, you guys know we're still co-parenting. We're still very close to each other in regards to that. My daughter's back and forth, but I still call her mom. You know what I mean? Like it's like those things. Her sister is Sissy. You know what I mean? Like so there's those things where we've decided that our relationship didn't work. But I'm still connected to these people, you know what I mean? And I live up there now with them, so it's...
But here's the thing, though. I think you're still connected to them because of your child.
Right.
If you
But
didn't...
I don't,
it's
I don't have a kid.
That's
right.
true.
I don't
And he's
have a
still...
kid.
So...
I talked to my... I called the... They hit me up on Facebook, and they're always, like, commenting on stuff. But I called them because I saw on Facebook they both got corona. So I wanted to check on them and call them. And they were so happy to hear from me.
Right.
And because they... Deep down,
They
still have feelings for me, love for me, and
you
they
feel the
know
You're a good
I
dude.
wasn't a bad guy. Like you know what I mean? It's different.
yeah.
Different if you beat up your
You weren't an
daughter
abusive husband.
and-
You wasn't-
or
yeah,
you did
none of that
something
stuff.
bad.
Right.
Then I can understand why somebody could just be like, we don't want anything to do with that guy. It just didn't work out. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person.
Right.
But were those feelings generated because you got married, or were they generated because over the course of time they got to know you?
They become family, though.
No, but answer the
Okay,
question.
you want me to answer it?
Yeah, answer. Over the course...
I don't think... I mean, I got to know and love and really, really genuinely love that family. You know what I mean? The family of my ex's
And they loved you,
internal
right?
family, and they loved me as well.
Did they love you because you got married to their daughter?
No.
See, it generated over the course of time.
Well,
So if that long-term relationship does the same thing, when it's a separation, it's the pain is still the same because just because I didn't say I do
Right.
doesn't mean that the pain is different.
Okay.
You
Well,
know
some
what I'm saying?
some people also equate divorce with death, right? There's a big equation of like how you felt. Some people say, when like a family member or a friend died, that's how I felt when I was going through my divorce, right? They equate those two feelings. But I don't think, if I was in a long-term relationship or the relationships that I had when they ended, I don't feel like I never felt like someone died, even though the relationship was over and I didn't feel the same and I, sad and all that other stuff. I just didn't. When I got divorced, I felt, it was like I said, it's the worst thing that I felt, in my time. So
I think the difference is you had children with that woman.
yo, Jamal, hold on. Let me get some of the mic here. Think about me in college. I
Right.
was in a long-term relationship, right?
Without children.
Without children. And I knew the family.
Mm-hmm.
When we separated, it was rough.
Mm-hmm.
It was rough. But when I left my marriage, it's never gotten as rough as that first one.
Rough as the breakup?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're saying
Your side,
the long-term relationship
Your
was
long-term relationship
tougher
was-
than the divorce.
'Cause it was my first time going through it, and
Right, that's my T-Face, my man.
I'm saying like,
Hey.
you guys know the deal.
Yeah.
The family loved me.
Yeah.
It was tough. It was tough.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I got past it, I was like, I'm never gonna get to this point again. But I've never gotten this. I remember being so depressed that I was driving, I was drinking. It was crazy.
After the breakup?
After breakup, I was going through it.
He's on my side.
You know what I'm saying? But after the marriage, I was never gonna put myself in a dangerous situation like that again. So I think it depends, man. It felt like somebody died.
Yeah.
It felt like somebody died.
Yeah, like what I'm going through right now, the breakup is like a divorce.
Because we spoke every day, and then we don't talk anymore.
So,
that's it.
Yeah.
So is there? So let's
trauma, right?
Yeah.
That trauma, right? So
the
you
breakup,
went through
the
it.
breakup or the divorce? I'm just want to be clear.
Either one.
Okay.
Either one. So now that we're kind of broadening the conversation here, so that relationship that you had and that breakup affected you almost like a divorce, even though, you know what I mean, you weren't that vested with.
Yo, after that breakup, I became like Goldie. I was in the clubs. I was, and maybe
He
because
said Goldie from the Mac.
maybe because I was hurting. I was just out there. I was out there.
Yeah.
man.
But it was also a long-term relationship. How many years was it? That relationship?
that's
7, 8 years.
That's
7,
what
8
we're
years.
talking about. We're not talking 2 years, 1 year, 6 months. We're
Yeah.
talking like
7, 8
8
years,
years,
yeah.
7, 8 years, and then you got a dog.
So-
and then we got to split.
Now we
Like,
gotta- we can't
yo, who
split
get the
the
dog
dog.
this week?
So in perspective, you've been in a non-relationship longer than your first marriage was.
Yeah, true.
A non-relationship.
No,
non-marriage.
No, yeah.
Non-marital relationship.
Yes. And this breakup has hit me harder
Right.
than the actual my first marriage.
But you only married for a couple years. Right?
Yeah. Right.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was it a
3.
time thing? That's so maybe it didn't hit that. It didn't hit that mark.
Yeah.
And the love was deeper for this person now. The love was deep. I was in love with, who she is.
Right.
But it's like I have children with this person now.
Yeah.
I have to worry about her well-being because she's a mother as well as my own. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With the first marriage, I'm not worried about that. We gone.
Right.
Like, you do your thing, I do mine.
And you didn't have kids in it.
And
You didn't have kids in that one,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
It was a little bit less vested.
And the thing about it is, I hope her family's well.
Mm-hmm.
But, I see you when I see you. With this breakup now, her mother's dying from cancer. So I'm invested in that, even though there was no marriage,
Right.
no wedding. I saw her as my wife. Like, yo, we are down to death.
Yeah.
And it's still going to be like that because she's the mother of my children. I want her to do well.
Yeah.
Even if she goes to date somebody else. But at the end of the day, she's the mother of my children. And her mental health is important to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's the same, in my opinion.
Okay.
I think what makes it the same, I my initial thought was, probably not, but I can see how as the relationship continues to progress, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then two people become one, lives become intertwined, and the deeper and the more invested you are with that person, the more you pile on. When you start to pull that apart, then that there's a lot you're ripping out.
Because you have a lot of layers though, because of children. So there's layers.
Right.
So you're the reason you have those feelings are just, and you keep saying it. She's the mother of my children, so that's part of it.
And as well.
And then you mentioned that her mom is going. You know what I mean? So
Right.
So you
layers
have.
of right. I got you saying.
That's
yeah,
what I'm saying. So
it's
there's layers to it.
Right.
This is not like if it was just, even if it was a 8-year relationship, and maybe there were no kids involved, and her mom wasn't sick.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, you would still miss her, but maybe it wouldn't have the same impact.
Right.
So you think if the mom wasn't dying, there were no kids, and it was just a breakup, like no
I don't-
dog or nothing like that. If it was a
I'm
breakup,
not
it,
so sure
it
if
wouldn't
it would
rise to
do
the
it.
level of a divorce.
I don't think so.
So check this out. I
That's just
actually
me.
think we started this conversation on a divide, right? Like we were saying, I was saying, marriage is I'm gonna be more of it, and then you were saying, no, a relationship can be just as. And I actually think the playing field is actually even right now. I think we all agree that it can go either way. I mean, the time invested, the layers to it, as Rob said, the different layers, having children, getting to know their family, getting to know, the layers that come with this. So it really doesn't matter whether it's a divorce or whether it's a long-term relationship. I think either one of them can be as traumatic or
traumatizing,
as traumatizing to you. So It's about how much you have invested in that relationship.
You feel my pain?
That determines.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Look at me
your,
and tell
your
me.
first
You feel my
marriage,
pain?
You had 3 years, right? You're like,
Tell me you
I'm
feel
out.
my pain. Tell me!
All right, quick.
So this
Quick,
conversation has gotten even.
name your wife from the divorce. Do you remember her name?
I'll just say
No, I'm
S.
just saying.
I'm gonna say
No,
S.
I'm just playing. I was saying, it escaped so quick.
Oh,
yeah.
wait, what?
Like,
Hold on.
what's your name? Oh, I forgot.
Drew wanted to say something.
So emotionally, it's the same thing.
Yes.
But when it comes to financially, it's not. Of course, yeah.
Facts.
Because
Okay.
anytime you got to go to a judge
Yeah.
to have them separate your shit.
And decide what shit you
it's
get
not- it's
and what
not
shit
the
you
same.
can't
At least
take
when
with
it's
you.
a breakup, like a regular breakup,
You
okay,
can just go.
This is shit you brought. Take your shit. Blah blah blah. You're usually not buying a house with someone you're not married to.
Right.
Okay.
Some people do it, but
Yeah.
they say financial advisors say don't do it.
Yeah.
I have
So-
two friends do it. I think it's crazy.
I think it's crazy too.
So before they're not married, they just buy it with their girlfriend.
Yeah,
boyfriend.
let's buy a house together.
Yeah, let's
What?
buy a house together.
What's the difference between buying a house with someone that you're married to and someone that your boyfriend girlfriend? What's the difference?
I just wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it either.
I just think you put yourself. If you're going to make that commitment, then you should be married.
Bro, you should buy that house for yourself and let her live there if you want to. But
You know what I'm saying?
when it's
Like,
over,
Her name shouldn't be on the
yo,
deed.
no, don't do that.
So because here's the thing, what happens if she passes away?
You get your shit.
You're
taken
not
care
the
of.
next.
You're
of-
not
No,
even next
no,
to
yeah.
you.
That's
No,
right.
you're not.
That's right.
Family, yeah.
Hey,
Unless
Her mom
so-
just come to get your shit.
Yes.
that's
That's
not
facts.
necessarily true.
No, that's
That's
facts.
facts.
No, it is.
That's
You're-
facts.
you're
So there's no paperwork you fill out
No.
to get that.
Unless you have a will.
Unless she
A
left-
will,
unless she
that's
had a
what I'm saying.
will left
Yeah,
it
yeah,
to
yeah,
you.
The difference between marriage and a long-term relationship is the documents you sign.
The documentation that says that house is yours if she passes away, or if you pass away.
Right,
Yeah.
right. There's a marriage certificate and there's multiple documentations that you can
but
find.
most of the
Healthcare
ti-
proxy, will,
Yeah, but
life
most of the
insurance.
time they're not
Is it-
going to write it off to you
Who? Why wouldn't they do that?
because they don't even know how this is going to end. Like,
They think it's supposed to last. Every relationship's supposed to last forever. Don't you know that?
or else you wouldn't get in it.
know that?
to this day, I still have a studio apartment in Jamaica. That if my wife would have done what I asked her to do, fill out the paperwork,
She would've got it.
She would have gotten it, and she procrastinated, and so I had my mom fill it out. And to this day, that's the only reason I still have it. Wow. Because she didn't do, she didn't do what I asked her to do at the time when she needed to do it. So I was like, okay, I asked you twice. My mom put her name on it because I couldn't own. At that time, I had like 3 apartments, and you know, in co-ops, you can't own more than one.
Right.
And the same, so I couldn't own another. It was 2 different companies, but I had 2 with one. So they were like, it can't be in your name. So of course,
Put it
I'm
in your
not
mom's
thinking I'm
name.
gonna get
Right.
divorced, right? So
Right,
I'm
right,
like,
right.
Damn.
I'm gonna put it in my wife's name.
All right.
She procrastinated. My mom signed the paperwork. We
Yeah.
got divorced. She would have had the apartment right
I mean,
now.
raise your hand if
She
you
fucked that back
understand
up.
why Rob's wife would have felt inadequate. Because had like 5 properties, 4 jobs,
Listen.
fucking
And then you don't have to
thousands and millions in the bank.
No, you don't have to be on an equal footing. That's not what I'm looking for. Like it really isn't. Like,
Right.
You do what you do, right? We come together. We already had a deal. You were talking about like paying for living arrangement. We had no, and I heard this on another episode. We had one account that just paid the house bills, but we had separate accounts on everything. No credit cards and either joint credit cards together, right? Nothing. My student loans were paid off when we got married, not hers. And I'm like, I didn't go to Michigan.
I'm not paying for that.
I didn't go to Michigan.
That's a house payment in Bel Air, Michigan University. Fuck out of here.
Nice house. You go on multiple
Oh, did she
vacations.
go?
I love
I
you,
only-
but I didn't go. That's your college
That's
degree.
your-
Did she go? Did she go during the Fab 5 years?
He said, I
So
didn't
she
go
was
to
smart.
Michigan.
So she was smart. She would have gave you the 400 that you mentioned that she
That's
was
all
paying.
it was.
And then everything else she should have just
Everything else she
stacked
could have
it
been
to the
dumping at on them college loans.
That's what I'm saying. You're living. You got a company car. They paying for your gas, your car insurance, and a car.
All you gotta do is come
All
up
you
with
got to do is take
$400.
care, right, to live. $400. Think about that. What I'm talking about. This is a household. Furniture, brand new furniture, nice place, everything. That's all she had to pay.
Let me ask you, was she light
I would
skinned?
have paid the 400.
Was she light
Brown
skinned?
skin.
Brown skin.
Because I'm convinced. I'm convinced.
Here you go with the light skin.
Turn his mic off before he does it. Turn his mic off.
I'm convinced Lisa from Coming to America fucked every light skinned chick head up.
Probably.
That was awesome.
No, I'm
Good,
just like,
good topic. Good topic. I
Go ahead,
definitely think we got some understanding, right? Some understanding amongst us, because, like I said, it was a big divide in the beginning, and now I don't think it's marriage versus relationship. I just think it's what you have vested in that relationship.
The world is changing, and people have tradition. Like people have children, and they going through it through like custody. There are other people that have a dog or a cat that are going through the same shit.
Yeah.
But those people with kids won't look at it the same way because it's a fucking dog. It's a cat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you
tough.
guys just trade the litter box every week.
Right.
But you don't understand. I don't want to see this motherfucker every week.
Right.
And that's just like, because it's a reminder of me seeing him. But he want the cat, I want the cat. What we going to do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Small claims
and,
court.
then he
It's
going
not
to go
about the
crazy
cat.
when my new man is over when he come get the cat, it's going to be a fight. Because my new man going to be there
Right.
when he come get the cat. You know what I'm saying?
It's not about the cat, bro. It's about the control that you have over the other person by wanting to take the cat.
that's what it is.
So you saying that the people that have
Little
pets
Queens joint there.
situations, the custody of pets, you don't think they want the pet? You
No.
don't think so?
It's about giving the other person a headache because they want it.
So what's
So
when a
I-
person wants the kid, when it's a kid involved, it's not about the kid. It's about the control.
Sometimes
Sometimes it is.
Sometimes it could be.
So-
yeah.
Because
I had a friend of mine, right? He went through a divorce, and he was going through a thing where him and his wife at the time were fighting over a couch, right?
Okay.
And he was telling me a story where his uncle said to him, "How much is the couch?" He said, $400 or $500. He goes, "You're gonna pay an attorney $2,000 to fight over $400. Buy another fucking couch."
No, and you know what? That makes perfect sense. When we got divorced, like I said, we didn't have any. We had my lawyer said, I wish. She said, "You don't need my services.
you can
said-
do this on your own.
She said, "You and your wife should go out to dinner and sit down and hash this out. You guys have no kids, no debt. You each have your own 401ks, college education, nothing. There was nothing in the ledger,
Right.
Right?
To divide up.
To divide up.
This is
because
mine.
you all had.
This is yours.
But, and I said to her, all I wanted from the divorce was a couch, was a TV, and 50% of the equity that we had at that point in the house. That's
Yeah,
it.
sounds
and
pretty straightforward,
And I'm
fair,
leaving
yeah.
you all the furniture, everything
So you
else.
was leaving at a house. You was leaving at a
Yes,
house.
I'm,
Oh shit.
everything. Just give me that. It was like $50,000 worth of equity. Write me a check for $25,000. Give me that big screen and that couch in the den, and I'm out. That's it. Nope.
She shut it
Lawyers,
down. Oh,
all this
wow.
other
Thousands of
stuff.
dollars, yeah.
Stop, just a waste. And my lawyer said, "This is just a waste. There's nothing here." She said, "When I'm doing divorces, there are kids involved, mountains of debt. Who's paying it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There
Yeah.
are all kinds of real things that need to be sorted out, and it just was a waste of money."
Right.
And I tried to get her to go to dinner to do that, but she was listening to too many other people and all kinds of stuff, and it was just like the barbershop that she didn't want me to buy. All of a sudden, she had an interest in the barbershop.
Interest in it, right? Like, oh wait, what about the barbershop? We should split the
Damn,
barbershop.
damn.
Split the barbershop. The barbershop you told me not to buy.
That one? The one you didn't give 2 nickels to?
Right.
I just have a question. Was her name Umfufu?
Put it, man.
She'd be like animal. Oh man.
We talked just two bars ago. We talked about you were talking about pets and
Yeah, I got
and
that.
giving it right, and then you said, well, what about the kids? People use kids as pawns
yes,
too. People absolutely use kids.
Yeah.
People take kids. And you know, even though you're a good father, and I'm not dealing with this, so this is I'm talking about
Right.
on the outside.
Thank
I ain't-
you,
I ain't talking about me. I'm good.
The others.
But yeah, you know, I don't want to put it on a certain sex. So people use kids as pawns in a breakup, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you can't see your kid.
Right.
You can't, you know, you can only have them for 3 hours. Well, you know what? I'm saying it's only 1 hour and that's it. You know, you want me to take you back to court. You know, all of this other stuff, right? So yeah, people use children as pawns just like any other asset or anything they have over
You
somebody.
weren't gonna use sex, but I'll say it. Mothers. Be like, I carried them. I'm the
I didn't
final
wanna put that in
decision
the
maker.
universe, so
I'm the
you say
final
what you
decision maker. I carried for 9 months. I gave birth. I am the final decision maker. I'm dealing
Yeah.
with that shit now.
Okay.
So I can say it.
My mom and dad got divorced, and it was good for our family because they didn't get along.
Right.
Right? It was good. It was good for our family. They didn't get along, but the one thing I always admired about my mother, not one day in her life, they're both gone now, but not one day did she ever badmouth him in front of us.
Nice.
So we didn't grow up with this anti-dad thing because mom is saying he's no good, he's this, he's that, this is what he did to me.
She never spoke bad about
never.
him.
And he would come pick us up. My mom never drove. She didn't drive. My dad had El Dorado drop top Cadillac, pick us up, take us to Coney Island.
Yep.
Oh,
Money, whatever you want.
Candy, all of that
just
stuff.
everything. So he was like, oh my God, you know what I mean?
He is
Mom
Superman.
is like, eat your spinach, do your homework. She's the you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she never so obviously you don't want to have a breakup. And in my neighborhood where I grew up with the guys I grew up with 11 guys in my neighborhood. We all played baseball together. Everybody had a mom and dad in their house except for me. Everybody.
That's something. That was one of our topics too. I don't know if you listened to that one, but
everybody in our family in our
in the
neighborhood.
Yep.
Except for but our lives were better once they separated.
How old were you when your mom and dad separated?
Like 12 or something like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Was it as hard then? Or?
No, but
You said it was
because
better.
I thought it was better. And I
okay.
didn't have, like I say, and then we were young. It wasn't like we were into their business. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
it was like,
Right.
It just wasn't like that.
Yeah.
And she didn't take her heartache out on y'all.
Nah, never did. And I always respect that. And I think that's the issue that I feel bad for guys because I have friends who have been through it and I'm just talking about from my perspective. I'm not saying everybody. But the women, talk bad about these guys. And these are good guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not perfect.
Yeah.
But they're good guys. And they hold the kids from them.
Yeah.
And they say all kinds of crazy stuff. And I don't think that's right to do that.
Right.
Nor do I.
I really don't. I don't even understand why you would do that. Okay, it didn't work out between us. That's the kid's father.
That's the kid's father.
That's the kid's
exactly.
father, whether you want him to be or
Right.
not.
Yeah.
So-
Don't tear down his role model.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
I just have one
agree.
question for everybody. Did I convert everybody in this episode?
What?
Yeah, no.
to saying that?
I would still
this
say
is on the
divorce.
level of a long-term breakup.
Yeah, I would say
long-term
divorce is still worse, but I could see how being in a long-term relationship could feel just the same as a divorce.
Correct.
Okay.
And
God
my
forbid you go through that.
no. Right.
I told you I was gonna hook up Boo. I was gonna back up Boo.
Like I said, it was a hard line in the sand in the beginning, but at the end, I think we all got some better understanding. So we talked about earlier, wins versus losses, right?
Right.
This was just more understanding for all of us to really, be able to, get each other's points. And I think we agree. I think we all agree that, a long-term relationship can be as equally devastating as a divorce.
All right, we gotta win, baby mamas. We gotta win.
All right. Rob, thank you again for joining
thank you,
us.
Rob.
No
We
doubt.
appreciate it.
Thanks
Really
for having
appreciate
me.
you.
Rob, thank you so much. All right, guys. Thanks for listening to another episode of The Lame Show. Check out our past episodes on your favorite podcast platforms. Click that download button. Matter of fact, smash that download button.
Smash it.
Hit it. Hit that subscribe button as well. And leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Also, interact with us on social media platforms. We are on most of them. And this is something new we're doing. If you want to buy us a drink or support the show, head on over to buymeacoffee.com/The Lane Show. We're accepting sponsorship for as little as $5 a drink to $10 per month. We'd love your support. Thank you so much.
Thank you, y'all.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, man.
See you next week.